So, could I just have you introduce yourself, please?
Yes, Lance Corporal Cherair. I'm from Springfield, Pennsylvania with Bravo Company 17.
And could I just have you spell your first and last name, please?
Yes, Cherair, Cherair, and first name is Mohaamed, Mohamed.
And how old are you?
22.
22?
Yes.
And where'd you go to high school?
Went to high school, Springfield, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Or Springfield High School.
All right.
Yeah.
So can you just explain to me what Bravo Company and you yourself did as a fire team leader during the battalion assault course the other day?
Yes, we started getting on 53s and we flew to our objective. It was about 20-30 minutes in the air. And we got there, we inserted, and we set up a 360 automatically. Once we set that up, we started making movement towards the wadi system.
Mm-hmm. And what was that like for you during that initial assault, moving through that rough terrain with like a full combat load?
It was definitely difficult. Marines were definitely having a hard time with it, but you know, team leaders and squad leaders were there to keep them pushing.
Mm-hmm. And what was your role as a fire team leader during that initial assault and the battalion assault course?
My role as a team leader during back was pretty much just keeping my team motivated and, you know, keeping them going and pushing them when they were starting to get tired and having them in the right spot in the offense push.
Okay, so once you guys actually reached your objective after maneuvering through the kilometers of the wadis and whatnot during that initial assault, can you explain to me what you did then?
We got to our objective and we started setting up in the defense. Squad leader would go down the line, start setting up, you know, this is where this hole is going to be, that's where that's going to be, start setting up lateral limits. And then we were assigned our sectors, and then that's when their team leaders would go down the line, start setting up azimuths for those holes and lateral limits, and start digging in.
So what's that like, being in a defensive position in a fighting hole for a couple days?
It's definitely challenging because you know, a normal person isn't used to going into a hole and just staying there for a few hours, let alone a few days. It's definitely difficult. It takes a strong person in the head to like withhold that.
Would you say you got to be? It's more of a mental strength than physically.
It is definitely mental. Yes.
So, what was your role as a team leader throughout those 2 days in the defense?
My role as a team leader was to go up and down the line, make sure my Marines were gaffing off, they were up, they were behind their weapon, making sure they were covering their sectors, and not sleeping while they're on post. And
can you tell me what's that like? You know, I'd say for the most part everyone was tired. Everyone, you know, it was the second day of training with little sleep. What's that like to stay constantly alert in the defense?
It takes a lot. You have to dig deep and pretty much, you know, find that motivation within and, you know, let it exert on everybody else. And then once that happens, it'll flow right through everybody. And then that's how you work together as a squad.
So that second night in the defense, when you had to repel the enemy attack at night, can you just explain to me what was going on, what you did?
We were the whole squad was in their holes. We were 100%. Basically, received intel that we were gonna take a counterattack, and you know, within our sectors, 1,500 meters in is when 762 can engage, and that's a white star cluster. And if that green star cluster goes up, that means 556. And once we seen that, then all the holes started opening up and covering their sectors as they were told to.
And how is that for you and you say your Marines, staying up, staying alert, providing security throughout the night, you know, when normal people would be in beds sleeping?
Like I said, it was definitely challenging, but that's why the team leaders are there, to go up and down the line, making sure they're up, they're on post, and they're behind their weapon.
And how do you like being that individual in that leadership position?
I definitely enjoy it. I definitely enjoy it, and I do like having the position.
All right. So what are some of the challenges, would you say, of being in the defense?
Challenges being in the defense, I would say, is not being comfortable, lack of sleep, boredom starts to set in, and that's where that will starts, like that motivating will, like you have to find it within yourself and, you know, just get your head right.
So after you guys repelled that enemy attack at night, can you explain what you did as fire team leader and your squad did that following morning during your counterattack?
The following morning, we dug our holes back in. We got an EDL count. Once the whole squad was up on EDL, and then the platoon was up, we made our movement to the objective. We got about 150, 200 meters out, and we started assaulting and team bounding and buddy rushing up to the objective. And the terrain was pretty difficult, but team leaders and squad leaders were making sure that Marines were in the right position.
And how is that challenging for you to, provide accurate fire and just to keep going when you're maneuvering through that rough terrain and you guys are tired?
It is challenging, yes.
So how do you get to that level where your Marines just keep pushing and just keep fighting?
Well, that's where once you notice that a Marine's getting tired and his pack is getting heavy, you start to help him out. You take that pack from him, you give it to another Marine, or you take it yourself, and it's like a circle. It's just you're helping each other push through it.
All right. Well, do you have anything else that you'd like to add about being a fire team leader, being with Bravo Company 17?
17 is definitely a good unit, and I'm proud to be part of Bravo Company.